There was a contract that I was working on. It was a multi-million dollar contract that I was working on. It was a pretty big contract. And at that time, I didn't know what the CEO looked like. I didn't know what his office looked like because I hadn't met him yet. I hadn't gone to his office. And I started visualizing the CEO. I started visualizing the office. I started visualizing the pen that he was going to use to sign my contract. And as I was visualizing all of that, the funny thing happened that all the steps to get to that office started falling into place. Well, welcome to the Professional Rule Breaker Podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Walterhouse, and I want to talk about something in this podcast that is really near and dear to my heart. I started thinking about this as the year was winding down and the brand new year was starting up. It is all about setting goals. Now, let me start off by asking this question. Have you ever said to yourself, this year is going to be different? And you set some goals and then nothing really happens. The next year rolls around and you maybe might go back and take a look at the goals to see, did you do any of it? I know that I've definitely been in that scenario. And, we set these goals because, we want to change. We want something new, something better, something to look forward to strive for. And it helps us get excited for the future. But unless we set it up so that we have some consistent focus and habits, it gets really hard to do, doesn't it? So I thought, let's do a podcast about goal setting because many years ago, I had changed my ways and I kind of put something together and the result was kind of shocking. My income went up by a lot. I had a lot of fun that year. And I just thought this is something that I need to do every year. And if I can spread it around and help other people accomplish what they want and their dreams, it would just really, quite frankly, make me happy. So I thought, let's go ahead and put something together. So I have something called Your Best Year Starts Today. It's a blueprint. And actually, I have a site, yourbestyearstartstoday.com, where there is a free download for you to get this blueprint so that you can use it to do your goals and really lay out, your path, map it all out for the year so that you can really blow it out and have this amazing year and live the dreams that you want and have the business that you want. So let's just start off talking about what is a goal? And what does it do for you? So when you set a goal, it helps you identify what's important for you. And if you're doing it for your business, also what's important for your business. It sets you off in this positive direction. It's a roadmap. It's a way, it's almost like a compass. It gives you a direction to go. And, with that, if you have the directions and you have the focus, do you think you're going to be able to accomplish things? I would have to say yes. But there's some principles of setting goals. First off, only you can make it happen. Yes, only you can make it happen. There's not going to be anybody else out there that will do your goals for you. So you have to know that you are solely responsible for it. You also have to kind of know what your starting point is. So, where are you now? And this is not necessarily looking at things in a negative light at all. You just need to look at where's your starting point so that you know where you start and where you need to finish. Another principle is don't limit yourself at all. I like to look at it as having infinite possibilities. And then number 4, another principle is do it now. Don't wait until you have everything, perfect out there and, you have everything laid out. Just do it now and do it imperfectly. And then lastly, get excited for the future. Because if you're not excited for it, I have a feeling you and both I won't accomplish our goals. So, what's a good first step? So, the first step is committing to making it happen this year. Make it a non negotiable. Having things as a non negotiable is really near and dear to my heart. That's actually been one of my keys to my success. So, when you make something non negotiable, it's basically it's not open for discussion with yourself or, even making a modification. If you make it a non-negotiable, it makes you accountable. Kind of remember what I said before, only you can make it happen. So when you make yourself accountable, no matter what, you will do what you need to accomplish it. Like, let's just use this for an example. This might be a little bit of an extreme example, but I want you to think about this. If you have children, I'm sure you're going to be able to relate to this. So as a parent, you do everything possible to protect your child. So let's say you're about ready to cross the street and your child runs out and there's a big bus coming. So your non-negotiable is to protect your child, right? So you're going to do everything out that's possible. You're going to run out there and you're going to save your child. It's a non-negotiable to you that you're going to save your child no matter what. And that's kind of the way that I want you to think about it. It's really almost developing a mental toughness, a discipline, a grit that no matter what, you are going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. All right, step number 2. I kind of alluded to this before, but you got to figure out where you are now. And, where were some of your accomplishments, your misses, your wins, and learn from that. Again, because mostly you want to know where you're starting, but also what did you learn from that? The next thing to think about that is so important, you really almost can't do goal setting without this, is knowing your why. Knowing your why is so much more important than knowing your what or your how. All that'll come later. But your why is the reason. It's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. It's the thing that gets you excited, keeps you up at night. And with that why, setting your goals becomes much simpler. You can think of your why as the backbone to your goals. So spend some time thinking about your why. And then, of course, you set your goals. And I always say, live in infinite possibilities, because if you set your mind to it, you can do it. I have so many stories that I could tell you about things that seemed like they were impossible. And yet I was able to accomplish it. And if I was able to accomplish it, then you absolutely can. So once you set up your goals, there is a step that is really, really important. It is visualizing. Now, I know some of you might think, that doesn't work, but I'm telling you, it does. I'll tell you an example. There was a contract that I was working on. It was a multi-million dollar contract that I was working on. It was a pretty big contract. And at that time, I didn't know what the CEO looked like. I didn't know what his office looked like because I hadn't met him yet. I hadn't gone to his office. And I started visualizing the CEO. I started visualizing the office. I started visualizing the pen that he was going to use to sign my contract. And as I was visualizing all of that, the funny thing happened that all the steps to get to that office started falling into place. And you can kind of think of it, if you can think of like the gears in a clock, how they all kind of turn together. Those gears all started falling into place. And basically, it's your brain that starts, in your subconscious, it starts thinking about all the things that maybe you might need to put into place or that you might need to make happen. So visualization is super important. And just a kind of a side note to this whole visualization, the funny thing is like I had said, I had never met this individual and I had never been to his office and I didn't know what pen he was going to be using. Well, not only did he look pretty close to what I had visualized, but his office looked so much the same. And the funniest thing about everything, the exact model, the exact color of the pen that I thought he should use when he was signing the contract was the exact one that he used to sign the contract. So don't discount visualization. All right, couple things real quick. The musts for goal setting. Obviously, make the goal, make it a non-negotiable, and be really resourceful when you set your goal. What is it that you need to do? What are the steps that you must do to accomplish it? And just kind of think outside the box. Set a deadline timeline, which is so important. And that timeline needs to be a non-negotiable. And a little hint, the shorter the timeline, the easier it is to accomplish because you're not going to kind of like wander off and go, oh, I'll do that later. And then also, what's really important is spend time every single day trying to figure out, okay, what else do I need to do to accomplish this goal? And it makes it even easier if you post your goals up in some place where you're going to see it every single day. And then lastly, the biggest one of all, have fun in the process. Because I don't know about you, but if it's not fun, it's kind of like, why do it? You have to really enjoy the whole entire process, because when you're having fun, you're going to want to keep on doing it and you're going to be excited to do it, versus when it's just kind of drudgery and like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. So you got to flip the script. You have to focus on having fun and making the entire process just, just a ball. I wouldn't say a ball of laughs, but, have some fun while you're doing it. So, as I had mentioned in the very beginning of this podcast, that I have a site that you can go to get the blueprint for free. It's called yourbestyearstartstoday.com. So go there, download the free blueprint that you can use to fill out your goals. And it even has some sheets that you can write on so you can post it up on a wall. And like I said, it's all free because I would love it if you set up your goals and you had in this next year an absolutely amazing year and you accomplished everything that you set out to do and you are living the life of your dreams. So again, go to yourbestyearstartstoday.com